phone in. We appreciate it. Who's got the first question? We'll start with Bruce. First row on your right, Austin.
Austin, batting cleanup for the Yankees in your first ever postseason. Do you ever think about that in terms of the responsibility or about it being an honor?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's an honor. I try not to think too much about it, though. Just feel like I'm in a spot to do a job, and it's a fun game.
What is it like being in the center of that lineup?
Yeah, it's a great lineup to be in and have the guys around me that have had so much success in the game. I feel like it's helped me throughout the whole year grow and learn from them.
Go to John in the second row on your right, Austin.
Saturday night after the win, after heading home, what was the adrenaline like after your first playoff game, first playoff win? Was it different than you expected? Was it similar to what you expected?
Yeah, I mean, I think just the way that the game went, I was pretty exhausted after that one. The back and forth was pretty tiring, but I think, left it out there that night knowing we had the off day. So it was pretty cool, and it was a good feeling to come out with a win.
We'll stay there, Austin, with Tyler.
Austin, Sal Perez has been catching in the big league since you were, I think, 12 years old. What is he, as a young catcher, what does a guy like Perez symbolize to you, or what impresses you? What do you admire about him?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, since I was young, like he's been catching in the league and doing great things, and he was definitely one of the guys that I watched as a kid coming into the league. So for him to be out there on the other side, doing what he's doing and having a great year, it's pretty cool to be going against him, and just to have a guy like that who's caught for so long in the league. I feel like it's becoming more and more rare as the game gets progressing. So it's really cool to see him over there.
First row on your far right, Eric.
Austin, when Salvador was in here a couple of hours ago, he was complimentary of you on the defensive side in particular, and talking about your framing. Just based on what you said about Salvi just now, what does it mean to you to have a guy like that say those things about you?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I was saying, like he was one of the guys that I watched growing up, and he's a pretty electric catcher and has done a lot of great things in the game. So to hear that, it's pretty cool, and he's a great guy, always has been. So that's great.
Go to the fourth row on your left, Austin.
Austin, you had a tough September after a really good summer. How much were you feeling the length of the season this year, and then how much did the week off help you recover?
Yeah, I don't think it was the length. Obviously, I haven't done it, so it could have been, but I don't think it was. I just think, getting towards the end, trying to do too much at the plate. I feel like the week off helped me mentally more than it did physically.
Go to the second row on your left, Peter.
Understanding he's your opponent in this series, have you gotten to know Salvador Perez over the years at all?
Not a ton. First time I met him was last year when I got called up and we played the Royals. So not a ton of time, but, I'd love to. So
About 5 rows back on your right, Jeff.
Austin, how do you approach someone like Cole Reagans who has 5+ pitches that he can throw for strikes?
For me personally? Well, I guess we'll see after the game how it goes, but I'm looking forward to the matchup, and he's a great pitcher. He's been great for the whole year, and definitely done a lot of prep, watching video, and trying to give myself the best advantage I can against him.
Against the wall on your right, Brendan Austin.
Clark's going to start Game 3. What's the most dangerous thing about him as a pitcher?
I think it's just how versatile he is. He's got some great breaking stuff. He's got 2 great fastballs, technically, with the sinker and the cutter. So I think just how he's been able to handle this year, starting off great, getting hurt, and then coming back and doing really well for us. I think he's primed for that spot, and he's so versatile. He's going to have a great start for us.
Brian in the third row in the center.
This series has Aaron Judge and Bobby Witt Jr. going head-to-head, couple MVP candidates. What do you think when you watch them play against each other here?
Yeah, I think just you get to the playoffs and it's some of the best players on the field, like at all times, going head-to-head, which I think is really special. Even like at the end of the game, watching close-up with Weaver versus Bobby there at the end, like I hope that's how every matchup could be, just because of how high profile Bobby is, and in a high profile situation, down 1 run. Those guys can make a difference in one game with one swing. So it's a lot of fun to be watching those games.
How tough is it to game plan for Bobby Witt Jr.?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great hitter. He's the batting leader, I think, in the league. So he does a lot of things really well, and it's just trying to not feed into too many of those.
2 rows behind Brian, Jake.
We often talk about innings limits for pitchers, and when guys go past their previous highs, it's usually a story. You're about 300 innings past your career high in innings behind the plate. I'm curious what that experience has been like for you over the full season to kind of keep your body where it needs to be to have that kind of load.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. My goal this year was to catch as much as possible, and so I think still catching in October is a good thing, and being out there in the lineup's awesome. So just going in there, making sure I'm communicating with the trainers on what I need to do, cold tub, all that stuff. But no, I feel great and excited to be here.
About 5 rows back on your left.
Austin, how has your relationship with Carlos Rodon developed over the course of the season, and what makes him unique?
Yeah, Carlos has been great for us this year. Getting to work with him through a lot of his starts this year. I just love how competitive he is out there, and he wants to do the best he can every single time he goes out there. And his intent behind every pitch is, one of the best there is in the game. So I think just having a competitor like that on the mound in the middle of our rotation, he gives us a really good chance to win every time he grabs the ball.
Sort of diagonal on the right, Max.
What kind of weapon can Heel be out of the bullpen now that we know he's not starting this series?
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I think he has more in the tank being a reliever. A fastball might be a couple extra miles an hour, which is already a great fastball. So I'm looking forward to that whenever that time comes, and we'll see what happens.
Meredith, up front on your right.
Austin, you talked about the competitiveness when it comes to Carlos Rodon. He often pitches with a lot of emotion as well. He had said how much he's looking forward to and wants to get the ball here at home to pitch for the first time for the Yankees in the postseason. What type of emotions do you think they're going to be out there for him tonight, and how do you make sure he keeps them in check?
Yeah, I think he's going to be really excited. I know he already is. I was just talking to him before coming up here and talking about hitters, and he's pretty fired up. So for him to be out here for us, Game 2, ALDS at home, I think those emotions are going to be pretty high regardless. So just trying to temper that a little bit and keep him focused on the goal, which is just one pitch at a time, and go from there.
Was that more so different than normal for Rodon today?
No, he surprises me some days with when he wants to talk about the hitters and what he's feeling that day. So I enjoy it, and he's a competitor, and yeah, he's gonna have a lot of fun today, regardless of what emotions come out.
Do a couple last ones. Laura, about 4 rows back on your right.
Personally, how has your relationship with Luke Weaver developed, especially as he's been used more often and in higher leverage situations?
Yeah, Luke's an awesome guy, awesome teammate. He's a small comedian, I'd say. You see some of his stuff online. He's like that for the most part throughout the clubhouse as well. So, no, he's been great, and just having him there, embracing whatever role we've thrown at him this year, has been really special to watch and be a part of.
Do you think having that personality, kind of that sense of humor, can help you in situations like the ones that he's been thrown into?
Absolutely. I think it just gives him, a kind of calm, cool, collected attitude going into whatever it has, and then as we've seen coming into his closer era, he's let that emotion out a little bit at the end of some of these games, which has been pretty cool to see.
Anything else for Austin? All right, we really appreciate you coming in, Austin.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
Appreciate it.